Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got this fantastic stack of sources you shared with us. And today we are taking a serious deep dive into something we all do, but navigating it in English can feel, well, tricky. Dining out?
Absolutely. It's one of those situations where, you need to sound natural, get what you want, and handle potential issues smoothly.
Yeah.
On the surface, it's just ordering food.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a whole sequence of interactions and specific language involved.
Exactly. So our mission today is to walk through the entire restaurant experience using these sources as our map, basically.
Yeah.
We're talking everything from deciding where to go, making a plan, handling the whole process step by step.
Right.
So you walk away with the phrases, the confidence, and just the ability to really enjoy dining out in English.
And the sources really hammer this home.
Yeah.
This isn't just about language practice. It's fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
Part of daily life, social connection, travel, and frankly, reducing that little bit of anxiety that comes with navigating new situations in a different language. Getting comfortable here unlocks so much.
And a big insight from these sources is how powerful practicing is. They suggest things like role-playing seems kind of obvious, maybe.
But it works. It's a safe space, to make mistakes before they matter, build muscle memory for the phrases.
Yeah, just get comfortable hearing yourself say the words out loud.
Exactly. Before we even think about booking a table, let's get a few key things straight from the sources. First, the different kinds of places you might eat.
Ah, good point.
Knowing the type helps set expectations for the language and, the formality.
Right. So you've got casual spots like a cafe or maybe a bistro, the classic American diner.
Yeah, well, the diner.
Quick fast food, obviously. The broader category of casual dining, and then more formal fine dining.
And don't forget a good old British pub or maybe a more food-focused gastropub.
Oh, yeah, gastropubs. And then the incredible variety of ethnic restaurants, Italian, Chinese, Mexican, you name it.
And who are the people you'll actually talk to? The sources list the key restaurant staff.
Okay.
There's the host or hostess who greets you at the door.
Mm-hmm.
The server, that's a great gender-neutral term for waiter or waitress.
Yeah, I like server.
Bartender for drinks, of course.
Yeah.
The busser, who helps clear tables, sometimes overlooked but important.
Right.
The chef, or cook, back in the kitchen. The manager overseeing everything. And maybe, just maybe, a sommelier if you're getting serious about wine.
Fancy. Okay, what about the physical stuff, the things you actually interact with?
Good one. Obviously the menu, your table, chair, maybe you're lucky and get a booth.
I love a booth.
Me too. Then everything at your place setting. Plate, bowl, cutlery, that's the general term for your fork, knife, and spoon.
Yeah.
Also called silverware or utensil sometimes.
Right, cutlery. Got it.
Don't forget your napkin or serviette in some places.
Yeah.
Glass or mug cup. Things like condiments on the table.
Ketchup, mustard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the very end, the bill or the check. We'll get into that difference later in thinking about the tip or gratuity.
Okay, lots of stuff.
Now, one point the sources make that just cannot be stressed enough. The absolute non-negotiable importance of basic courteous expressions.
Ah, yes. Manners.
Seriously, please think of these as the lubrication for any service interaction.
Yeah, totally.
Using them signals respect, makes everything smoother, even if your English isn't, perfect, maybe especially if it isn't perfect.
Absolutely vital. And the sources list key actions, the verbs you'll be using or seeing.
Right, the doing words. To book or reserve a table.
Mm-hmm.
To order food and drinks. To eat. To drink. The staff to serve.
Great.
You to pay, maybe to tip.
Asking for things.
Yeah, to recommend, to ask for, and hopefully to enjoy.
Okay, so basic vocabulary, the players are set. Let's dive into the actual process, starting before you even arrive.
Right, thinking ahead. Phase 1, making a reservation.
Is it always necessary?
The sources explain it's often a good idea, yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you have a group or it's a popular place or like a Friday night.
Guarantees you a spot.
Exactly. Reduces waiting, helps the restaurant prepare, shows a bit of consideration too.
Okay, so what words do I need?
Key words here are reservation or booking. They mean the same thing. You'll talk about the party of number of people, so a party of 4.
Got it.
A specific time slot. Whether they're available or, bad luck, fully booked. And you might need to confirm later, or maybe cancel if plans change.
And the phrases are pretty standard, I guess.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. You'd call or maybe do it online and say something like, I'd like to make a reservation, please.
Simple enough.
Or get straight to it. Could I reserve a table for 2 people on Friday at 7:30? Include all the key info.
Right.
And the restaurant staff will likely ask back, certainly, For how many people?
Okay.
Okay, for what date and time?
Yeah.
Always, what name should I put the reservation under?
Makes sense. The sources have this little example, right? Alex calling the oak tree.
Yeah, for a table for 2 on Friday at 7:30 p.m., Bella takes the call, confirms the details, takes the name Alex.
And it shows that repetition is good, like confirming back.
Definitely. Okay, Alex, table for 2, Friday, 7.3. Okay. Got it. That confirms everyone is on the same page. Avoids mistakes.
Good tip. Okay, moving on. You actually get to the restaurant, arrival and being seated.
Right. Phase 2, you usually head to the host or hostess stand, often near the entrance.
And if you did make that reservation...
Easy peasy. Just walk up and say, "Hello, I have a reservation under the name Alex for 7.3. Simple and direct. Give your name and the time.
What if you didn't book? You're just, like, walking in.
That's called a walk-in. You'd approach the host and ask, "Hello, do you have a table for 2, please? State your party size."
And if it looks slammed?
Definitely ask, "How long is the wait for a table for 2? Knowing the wait time 10 minutes, an hour helps you decide if you want to stick around or try somewhere else.
Good call. What other words pop up here?
Vocabulary for arrival includes the hostess stand itself. You might be put on a waiting list.
Ugh, the waiting list.
Sometimes they give you a pager or buzzer that lights up or vibrates when your table's ready.
Oh, yeah, those things.
And if you have a seating preference, maybe you want a window seat, a cozy booth, a quiet area, or if it's nice out, a spot on the patio or outside.
Yeah.
You can usually ask about that when you check in.
Worth asking. What will the staff say?
Hopefully, right this way, please, or your table is ready. If there's a wait, it's usually something polite like, "Unfortunately, there's about a 20-minute wait."
Okay. The mini scenario here involves Maria and David at Bella Italia, no reservation.
Right, and Liam, the host, tells them there's a wait. It just shows, you can still get in as a walk-in, but you need to be prepared for that possibility, especially at busy times.
Makes sense. Okay, you're seated, maybe you've got water, big moment, understanding the menu and initial interactions.
Yes. Phase 3. This is where the delicious decisions begin. The menu is your guide.
How's it usually laid out?
Pretty standard sections.
Yeah.
You'll find appetizers or starters, those smaller dishes to begin with, then soups, salads, then the main event. Main courses or entrees. Now, quick note from the sources here.
Oh, what's that?
Entree means the main dish in North America, mostly US and Canada. But in the UK or France, traditionally, entree can mean the starter, the dish before the main.
Oh, that's confusing.
It can be. Just pay attention to the menu context. If it's listed between appetizers and desserts, it's almost certainly the main course.
Okay, good flag. What else is on the menu?
You'll also find side dishes or sides, things like fries, vegetables, desserts, drinks or beverages, non-alcoholic, alcoholics, hot drinks, and often a list of daily or weekly specials.
And if they don't give you one right away?
Just a polite, "Could we have the menus, please?" Works perfectly.
Now, the sources stress this. Don't just guess if you don't understand something on the menu.
Absolutely not. Asking for clarifications about menu items is completely normal and expected. This isn't asking for a recommendation yet. It's asking what the dish actually is.
So what do you say?
Phrases like, "What exactly is this seafood linguine?" Or, "Does this dish contain nuts?" Super important for allergies. Or maybe, "Is the chicken Diablo spicy?"
Okay, so that's what it is. But what if you want advice?
Then you ask for recommendations. A simple, "What do you recommend?" is great.
Nice and easy.
Or, "What are your specialties?" Or, "What's popular?" Servers usually eat there or hear feedback. They often know what's consistently good.
Good point. The sources also give loads of descriptive words.
Yeah, really useful vocabulary for menus and food descriptions. Think about taste. Spicy or hot, mild, sweet, sour, salty, bitter. More complex ones like rich, bland, hopefully not. Tangy, like citrus. Zesty, smoky, earthy, like mushrooms. Umami, that savory depth.
Wow, lots of options. What about how it feels?
Texture, crispy or crunchy.
Right.
Tender, like good meat. Creamy, chewy, flaky, like pesher pastry. And for pasta, al dente cooked, but still a little firm to the bite.
Al dente, right.
And don't forget temperature.
Yeah.
Piping hot or maybe lukewarm if something's wrong. Knowing these words helps you describe what you like or understand the menu better.
Makes sense. The little scenario shows Chloe asking Sam, the server, about a specific dish.
Right, the seafood linguine, she asks what's in it. That's clarification.
And then she asks for appetizer recommendations.
Yep. Exactly. It perfectly illustrates those two different types of menu questions you might ask. Clarifying versus recommending.
Okay, decisions are brewing. Often the first thing you actually order is drinks. Right?
Usually, yeah. Phase 4, ordering drinks. The server might ask right after seating you, or when they bring menus.
What kind of drinks are we talking?
Well, there's a whole range of common types of drinks.
Like?
Water is important. Know the difference between tap water, free from the faucet.
Always ask for tap water if you don't want to pay.
Good tip. Then, still water or bottled water, no bubbles.
Yeah.
And sparkling water or carbonated water, bottled with bubbles.
Oh, okay. Still sparkling tap.
Then you have soft drinks, sodas, juices, different types of beer, maybe draft from the tap, bottled. Wine, red, white, rosé, you can often order it by the glass or by the bottle. Many places have a house wine, usually a decent, affordable option.
Right.
Spirits liquor, like vodka, gin, whiskey, often ordered with mixers, like tonic water, soda, cola, cocktails, of course, and hot beverages like coffee and tea, lots of types there too.
Any special drink words I need?
Some useful vocabulary for drinks includes things like on the rocks, meaning with ice cubes.
Okay.
Neat, just the spirit, room temperature, no ice or mixer. Straight up, chilled with ice, then strained into a glass, no ice in the glass.
Neat versus straight up. Got it.
Terms for quantity like pint, common for beer in places like the UK and Ireland, glass, bottle. And don't forget asking for a refill for things like soda or iced tea if refills are offered.
How do I actually order?
Ordering freezes are pretty simple. I'll have a Diet Coke, please, or just tap water for me, thanks. If you know what you want, just state it clearly.
And what will the server say?
They'll probably start with something like, what can I get for you to drink? Or anything to drink to start.
Can I just say...
A simple response is fine. Yes, I'd like a glass of the house red wine, please. Or if you need more time, just water for now, thank you.
Okay. The mini scenario with Raj and Priya ordering an IPA and a Sauvignon Blanc from Kenji.
Yeah, it just shows that quick, straightforward interaction. They know what they want, they state it simply, Kenji confirms, boom, drinks ordered.
Right, drinks are sorted. Now, the main event. Phase 5. Ordering food appetizers and main courses.
Okay, let's do it.
Remind us of the difference again. Appetizers versus main courses.
Right. Appetizers or starters are those smaller dishes meant to begin the meal, get your appetite going.
Right.
Main courses, or entrees, remembering that nuance, are the more substantial dishes, the core of your meal.
So if I want a starter...
If you're getting appetizers first, you might say, for starters, we'd like to share the calamari. Or if it's just for you, I'll start with the French onion soup.
Okay. And then for the main?
Then for the main course, it's often, for my main course, I'll have the grilled salmon, or simply, I'd like the steak, please.
Ah, steak. The sources say this is where you often need to be specific about how you want it cooked.
Absolutely. A key skill. Specifying how you want your food prepared. This is most common with steak doneness. You need to know these terms.
Lay them on me.
Okay. Rare is very red, cool center. Medium rare is red. Warm center, often recommended for flavor and tenderness. Medium is a pink center. Medium well is just slightly pink in the very center.
Yeah.
And well done is cooked all the way through, no pink.
Medium rare for me, usually.
Good choice. Knowing these helps you get the steak you actually want. This specificity also applies sometimes to eggs, scrambled, fried, like sunny side up, over easy, over medium, over hard, poached, boiled.
Okay, good to know. And you can still ask how things are cooked, right? Even if it's not steak or eggs.
Definitely. Ask things like, is the salmon grilled or baked? Or does the chicken dish come with any vegetables, or is that separate?
Useful. Any other vocab here?
Yeah, terms like side dish or something ordered separately or chosen to accompany the main, dressing for salads, ranch, vinaigrette, etc., garnish, a little bit of decoration, often edible, and understanding portion size if you're unsure how big something is.
Right. The scenario has Ben and Lisa ordering calamari.
Yep, that's the appetizer.
Then grilled salmon and a ribeye steak, medium rare.
Exactly. It pulls together those ordering phrases for starters and mains and includes specifying the steak doneness, all handled by Anna, their server.
Perfect. Now, this next part is absolutely critical. The sources really emphasize this, especially for safety, dietary restrictions, allergies, and special requests.
Cannot stress this enough. Phase 6. Clearer communication here is vital for safety and for having a good meal.
What kind of needs are we talking about?
Common dietary needs include vegetarian, no meat, vegan, no animal products at all, gluten-free, GF, avoiding wheat, barley, rye, dairy-free, DF, no milk products. Pescatarian eats fish but no other meat. Low-carb keto or religious diets like halal or kosher.
Okay, but allergies are even more serious.
Way more serious. Communicating allergies clearly is paramount. Things like nut allergy, peanuts, tree nuts, shellfish allergy, dairy allergy, egg allergy, soy allergy, Also celiac disease, which is an autoimmune reaction to gluten, not just an intolerance.
And the sources mention cross-contamination.
Yes. For severe allergies, it's important to mention the risk of cross-contamination, the possibility that trace amounts of the allergen could transfer from utensils, cutting boards, or fryers used for other foods. You might need to ask if they can prepare your food separately or safely.
Wow, okay. What about just changing things slightly, like no onions?
That falls under making modifications to a dish. And yes, you can often ask. Use phrases like, "Could I have the salad without croutons, please?" Or, "Is it possible to get the sauce on the side?" Or, "Can I substitute the fries for a side salad?" Doesn't hurt to ask politely.
Good to know you can ask. Useful words here.
Vocabulary for special requests includes allergy itself, or say I'm allergic to food. Also intolerance, less severe than allergy but still causes issues. Preference, substitute or substitution, the words without or no, like no cheese, and asking for something on the side.
So how do I phrase it to the server?
Be direct and clear. I'm allergic to nuts. Does this dish contain any nuts, or is it cooked near nuts? Or do you have a specific gluten-free menu? If you're unsure, could you please check with the chef if the soup is vegetarian?
And the staff should.
Ideally, they'll ask proactively, do you have any allergies or dietary restrictions I should be aware of? If you tell them something complex, they should say, let me double-check that with the kitchen, rather than guessing. They want you to be safe, too.
Right. The mini scenario shows Sarah, who is gluten intolerant.
Yeah, she specifically asks Javier, the server, about gluten-free options for the chicken pesto pasta. It highlights that crucial direct conversation. It's potentially life-saving and definitely meal-saving.
So important. Okay, food is on the way, or maybe you're already digging in. Phase 7. During the meal interactions and additional requests.
Right, you're eating, enjoying. Your server will typically check in at some point.
The classic, how is everything?
Exactly. They'll often come by the table and ask, how is everything tasting? Or is everything to your liking? Or everything okay here?
How should you respond?
Depends. If everything's great, a simple positive response works. Everything is delicious, thank you. Or it's wonderful. Or yes, lovely, thanks.
But what if you do need something?
This is your perfect chance. Respond honestly but politely. Actually, could I have some more water, please? Or, it's good, but excuse me, can we get some more napkins?
So it's okay to ask for more water or bread or whatever.
Totally fine. Asking for more water, bread, napkins, etc. is normal. Just get their attention politely, and ask clearly.
And if the food is really good,
tell them. Complimenting the food is always nice to hear. This steak is excellent. Or the classic, my compliments to the chef. Servers often pass that feedback along.
Nice touch. The scenario here is Olivia and Tom enjoying their meal.
Right. And when Freya, the server, checks in, Tom simply asks for an iced tea refill. It shows how these check-ins are a natural, low-pressure opportunity for small requests.
Okay, smooth sailing mostly. But let's talk about a situation we hope doesn't happen, but, it's good to be prepared. Phase 8, dealing with problems politely.
Yeah, things can sometimes go wrong. The sources acknowledge issues can arise. You might get the wrong order entirely.
Happened to me once.
Or the food not cooked, as requested, like your steak is well done when you ask for rare. An item missing from your dish, maybe the side salad you ordered. Or the dish is just plain unsatisfactory, too salty, burnt, cold, something's off.
So what do? Start waving your arms frantically?
No. The key is getting the server's attention politely. The sources suggest making eye contact first, if needed, a small, subtle wave when they're looking your way or nearby, or just wait until they pass close by and say a quiet, excuse me, or excuse me, server.
What should you definitely not do?
Just definitely avoid snapping your fingers or shouting across the room. It's considered quite rude in most English-speaking cultures.
Okay, got their attention politely, now what?
Use polite phrasing to state the problem calmly. Start gently. Excuse me, server, there seems to be a small issue. Or, I'm sorry to bother you, but I believe I ordered the vegetarian lasagna. State the problem clearly, but without aggression. I asked for my steak medium rare, but this seems to be well done.
And what should the staff do?
A good server's response should be apologetic and aimed at fixing it immediately. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Let me fix that right away for you. Or, I do apologize for the mistake. Would you like me to take it back to the kitchen? They might offer an alternative, too.
Right. The scenario here has Emily getting meat lasagna instead of veggie.
Yeah, and she handles it perfectly.
Yeah.
She politely tells Daniel, the server, excuse me, I think I might have received the wrong dish. I ordered the vegetarian lasagna. See how she starts gently, states the problem clearly?
And Daniel apologizes and offers to fix it.
Exactly. That's the desired flow for resolving an issue smoothly. Clear, polite communication, even when something's not right. It's not about complaining, it's about getting the meal you expected.
Makes sense. All right, crisis averted, or maybe everything was perfect. You finished the main course. Thoughts might turn to dessert.
Ah yes, phase 9. Ordering dessert and after-dinner drinks. The sweet ending.
Do they just bring the menu?
Sometimes. Or they might ask if you'd like to see it after clearing your main course plates. If not, you can ask for the dessert menu. Could we see the dessert menu, please?
What kind of treats are usually on there?
Common types of desserts mentioned in the sources include things like cake, chocolate cheesecake, pie, apple pecan, ice cream, sorbet, often fruit-based, dairy-free, pudding, fruit salad, maybe fancy things like creme brulee or tiramisu.
Yeah. What about drinks after the meal?
Yes, people often order coffee, tea, or other after-dinner drinks. Different coffee types like espresso, cappuccino, latte. Maybe you want decaf coffee late at night. Various tea types, too, like black tea or herbal tea.
And they might ask.
Yeah, for coffee or tea, they'll usually ask with milk or cream and sugar. Or maybe fancy something stronger, like a liqueur, like Bailey's, Cointreau, or digestible, like brandy or Amaro, to finish the meal.
Any special words for this stage?
Just words like decaf, herbal tea, maybe describing a dessert as decadent if it's really rich.
Yeah, how do I order?
Phrases for ordering dessert are simple. I'll have the chocolate cake, please. Or, we'd like to share the creme brulee for drinks. Just a coffee for me, please. Decaf with a little milk.
And if you don't want dessert?
Perfectly fine. No dessert for me, thank you, but I would like a peppermint tea.
And the staff might prompt you.
Yeah, they'll usually ask, would you care for any dessert this evening? Or, can I tempt you with anything from our dessert menu? The scenario with George and Nina ordering a chocolate brownie and a cappuccino from Carlos just shows this simple, final ordering stage.
Okay, we're nearing the finish line. Stomach's full. Time for phase 10. Getting the bill check and payment, the final hurdle.
Right. You usually need to ask for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come automatically,
Yeah.
especially in less hurried places.
How do I ask?
You need to signal you're ready. In British English, it's most common to say, could we have the bill, please? In American English, it's more common to ask, may I have the check, please?
Bill versus check? Okay.
Both are understood pretty much anywhere, though. And a common nonverbal cue, mentioned in the sources, is making a little writing gesture in the air to catch the server's eye.
Ah, the air signature.
Exactly. When the bill arrives, take a look. It will usually be an itemized list of everything you ordered. Check it for accuracy. Then you'll see the subtotal, any applicable tax, and crucially, check if a service charge or gratuity is already included.
Why is that crucial?
Because it affects whether you need to add a separate tip or how much. We'll get to tipping in a sec.
Okay, how can I pay?
Methods of payment are usually cash, credit card, or debit card. Increasingly, contactless payment, tapping your card or phone, is common too.
And the machine thingy.
You'll interact with a portable card machine or terminal. You might use chip and PIN, inserting your card and entering your PI number, or just tap for contactless. You'll always get a receipt. And if you paid with cash, make sure you get the correct change back.
What if I'm with friends and we don't want one person paying for everything?
Splitting the bill.
Yeah.
Very common. You just need to ask the server before they process the payment, could we split the bill, please? Or can we pay separately?
Can you specify how?
Yeah, you can say, could you split it evenly? Or could we split it 2 ways? Or maybe could we have separate checks if you want to pay for exactly what you each had? Though that might be more work for the server depending on their system.
Okay, now, the T word, tipping.
The big one. And the sources are very clear on this. Tipping culture varies massively by country. This is a key insight. What's normal in one place might be unnecessary or even slightly odd elsewhere.
So give us the rundown.
Okay, broadly speaking, in the USA and Canada, tipping 15–25% of the pre-tax bill is generally customary and expected. Servers' base wages are often low, and they rely heavily on tips.
Right, that's important context.
In the UK and parts of Europe, a service charge of 12.5% might already be included on the bill. If it isn't, a tip of around 10% might be appreciated for good service, but it's often less mandatory feeling than in the US. Check the bill first.
Okay, what about further afield?
In Australia and New Zealand, tipping is generally not expected. Staff are paid higher base wages. You might round up a cash payment or leave a small amount for exceptional service, but it's not standard.
Interesting. And Asia?
In many Asian countries, tipping is traditionally not customary and can sometimes even cause confusion or mild offense, though this is changing rapidly in major tourist areas and high-end hotels.
Wow, huge differences.
Huge. The main takeaway from the sources: always research the local custom before you travel or dine out in a new country. Don't just assume.
Excellent advice. Any last phrases for the payment stage?
As a customer, you might ask, is service included? If you're unsure about that charge. When paying, you'll say, I'll pay by card, or I'll pay with cash. If paying cash and you don't need change, keep the change.
And the server might ask,
Are you paying together or separately? How would you like to pay? Will that be cash or card?
Yeah.
On the card machine, especially in North America, it might prompt, would you like to add a tip gratuity?
Right. The scenario has David and Sophie asking Marco for the bill.
Yep. And then specifically asking about splitting it between two cards. It covers those common requests right at the end of the payment process.
Almost done. The very final step. Phase 11, leaving the restaurant.
Just need to make a graceful exit.
A simple, polite farewell is always nice, right?
Absolutely. Thanking the staff as you leave is a great touch.
Right.
A simple, thank you, that was a lovely meal, to your server or the host on the way out.
And polite farewells.
Yep. Goodbye. Or, depending on the time, have a good night. Or have a good day.
So, departing phrases.
From you, the customer, thank you very much, goodbye. And what you'll likely hear from the staff, thank you for coming. We hope you enjoyed your meal. Have a wonderful evening or have a great day.
Nice and simple. The final scenario bit just shows David and Sophie thanking Marco, server, and Liam, host, on their way out of Bella Italia.
Yeah, it's a small gesture, but it completes that whole interaction cycle nicely. Leaves a good impression.
Okay, whew. So those sources guided us through the whole journey, step by step, but they also offer ways to go beyond the basics, right? To sound even more fluent.
They do. They include sections to enrich your vocabulary. For instance, more adjectives for describing food, building on the taste and texture words we mentioned earlier.
Like what?
Thinking about words like succulent, juicy, tender for well-cooked meat, or maybe dry or bland if it's not great, exquisite if it's amazing.
Good words. What else?
They also list common cooking methods you'll often see on menus. Understanding terms like bake, roast, grill, cooking over heat, or broil, cooking under intense heat. Different types of fry, pan fry, deep fry, stir fry, boil, simmer, gentle boil, poach, in liquid below boiling, steam.
Oh yeah, poached eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also braise, sear, then cook slow in liquid, stew, marinate, soak in flavor before cooking, smoke, cure, like for bacon or salmon. Understanding these gives you a much clearer picture of how your food is prepared just from reading the menu.
That's really helpful. And idioms. The sources mentioned idioms.
Yeah, for adding a bit of personality and sounding more like a native speaker, they include some useful idioms related to food and eating. They're also used in general conversation, not just about food.
Give us some examples.
Fun ones like, that task was a piece of cake, meaning it was easy.
Classic.
Don't spill the beans, means don't reveal the secret. Food for thought is something to think about seriously. If something is not my cup of tea, it means it's not to your liking. If you have a lot on one's plate, you're very busy. And if you should take something with a pinch of salt, it means don't completely believe it or take it too seriously.
Those are great. Using them makes you sound much more natural.
Totally. They just add that extra flavor to your conversation, even outside the restaurant.
And bringing it all back home, the sources strongly reiterate the importance of practice. We mentioned it at the start.
We did, and it's worth repeating. That's where those effective role-play tips come in. They really emphasize that role-playing isn't just silly make-believe.
Right. It has a real purpose.
It's a safe environment, like we said. Build that fluency, learn from mistakes privately without embarrassment, and just get used to forming the sentences, getting the words out.
So how do you do it effectively?
Find a study partner, a friend, a tutor. Maybe even use props like real menus you find online, or water glasses. Take turns being the server and the customer.
Try different situations.
Definitely. Try booking a table over the phone. Try ordering with a tricky allergy. Try handling receiving the wrong dish politely. Practicing these specific scenarios helps you anticipate the flow and feel way more confident when it's real. Even practicing alone, switching roles can help.
Good advice. So there we have it. We've taken this pretty deep dive through the whole restaurant experience, guided by these sources, from the initial thought of dining out all the way through saying thank you on the way out the door.
And mastering these conversations, getting comfortable with them, it really is a huge step. It significantly boosts your confidence in a really common, everyday social situation using English. It's quite empowering.
So our message to you is use the vocabulary, grab those key phrases we talked about, maybe try those role play tips from the sources. Don't be afraid to try. Every interaction is a chance to learn and get better.
Exactly. Because dining out is more than just getting fed. It's a rich cultural and social experience. Being able to participate in that conversation confidently, smoothly, it just opens doors to connecting with people.
Well said. And as you get more comfortable just ordering and interacting, here's something from us to chew on, maybe. Beyond just ordering, how might paying attention to the cultural nuances of dining, like tipping, politeness norms, meal timings in different English-speaking countries reveal deeper insights into their societies?
Ooh, that is food for thought. A lot to unpack there.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.